what I'm going to show you is how to make a classic French omelet in a carbon steel pan. I usually take a little bit of butter. You like that, a little bit of butter? Like the French say, you can never have too much butter. And I'm going to put this on a setting of 2. Okay, so there's low, 1, and 2. Real low right now. Let this, it'll melt down in there. I do this every day. Alright, and then the pan I'm going to use is a Vollrath. I believe this is a 7-inch pan. I don't know how they measure it, but it's a smaller, one of their smaller ones. It's very lightweight, well seasoned. And this is the flame right now that I've got going here. And we're just going to let that go for a minute. And while it's doing that, I'm going to mix my egg up. I don't put anything in the egg, no salt, no pepper. I just make sure that it's well mixed. I don't want to overbeat it. I put no milk or cream in it. Classic French omelet actually looks yellow from one end to the other, shaped like a cigar, and it's very creamy, or some people use the term custard-like in the center, and it gives a whole new meaning to eggs. Alright, I usually use a little spatula like this to scrape out the remaining egg. This one I'm only going to use 1 egg. The process is the same for 1 or more eggs. Alright, since my stove is on a slant a little bit, I'll tip this over to get the butter all the way around. This pan probably is around 6, maybe 8 months old. It's well seasoned. And all I use it for is my French omelets, classic French omelets. The omelet where you have a little brown on the top because it's overburned is called a farm omelet. But what I want to point out to you right now is, you see the butter, how it's melting in the bubbles? The next step, the bubbles will go down and they'll start turning brown. If they turn brown, then you're almost too late on getting your egg in there. You don't want it to turn brown, you just want the bubbles to totally evaporate or disappear. And we're getting pretty close to getting the egg in there. I'm just going to let it sit a minute. You don't want to be too patient. The butter is nice and watery. We want it hot enough so that the bottom gets hard, but not hot enough to where it sticks to the bottom. And I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. Alright, we're going to scrape my fork off for a second. I think we're ready to put this in. A little bit of sizzle, that's fine. Get this out of the way. Now on the fork, I'm going to use the bottom of the tines. I'm going to flip it over and just lightly move it around. At the same time, I'm going to shake my pan. Like this. You want to keep shaking it a little bit. Slowly go around. You don't have to use hard pressure at all. I'm just kind of coasting the egg on the bottom of the pan. We'll see kind of how this turns out. See, the whole egg itself is slipping back and forth. Now you can control the heat not just by turning this down, let's say to 1 right now, but you can get it off there, get it off of it, take it off, put it back on again. That's fine. Alright, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tip it just like this. It's doing good. So I'm going to start at this end, just kind of flip it over, just like that. Come over to the edge. This is the tricky part right there. Okay, we'll leave that right there. Then I'm going to take my plate and just flip it over, and there we have it, right there. Alright, now the final thing I'm going to do, if I don't burn myself, I don't know if I can set that there, I'm going to take a little bit of butter. The French usually do this, just to shine up the egg a little bit. There we go. Then I take some salt, Mediterranean, the pink salt I like. And of course I'm going to use some pepper, fresh ground pepper on it. And there you have the French omelet. But before I go, I'm going to cut this in half and show you what it looks like on the inside. If you can see that. See how nice and creamy that is? It's like custard. There you have it. One last thing I'm going to do. I'm going to grab a paper towel. This is how I clean all my pans. I'm just going to go in here like this, wipe it out. I never put water in this. I've never had to use water for months. And there you have it.